Some of the new strategies they have when Dignitas takes on CLG. But first things first, we got Bjergsen at the desk. Bjergsen, Team Solomate coming out 1-1 now. Let's talk a little bit about the games before we get to the Bjergsen that is the Burger King. What was up with the games today? How'd you feel against, in the first game, and what changed to the second overall?
I definitely think we played way too scared against Cloud9. I think most of us, or pretty much all of us, felt the pressure, and we were all kind of. The pressure kind of enhances when they have a Teemo, because you're like, okay, we're kind of scared of engaging, but they also have these freaking shrooms all over the place, so we don't really know where we can go. And we were ahead at one point. I was a lot stronger than High at one point, but we didn't really have like the balls to really like force fights or siege towers like we should have. And we watched through the replay, and we definitely figured out what we did wrong. And yeah, we just need to have more like confidence in ourselves.
Yeah, and we got a bit of time here. It'd be interesting to hear what you had to say about playing against Teemo. How are you actually supposed to lane against an AP Teemo, or even play the game?
I don't think the lane was too much of a problem. I got sort of ahead. I had a lot of pressure in the lane, but I think that was kind of because I got lucky with my matchup. If you have some other matchups, he can actually be a real pain and poke you down. But the problem is more when he gets like items, and you get pretty much free objectives when you have Teemo, because he just places shrooms around Baron or Dragon or down the mid lane. So if they go push top and you go down mid, then all your creeps is down. You're like, oh, damn, all the shrooms.
Were you expecting the Teemo from High, or were you expecting something completely different?
I didn't expect Teemo at all. Like we scrimmed against them quite a bit, even though we were playing them, but they never pulled Teemo out, and it was definitely like, okay, wow, we did not expect that.
Yeah. So one more Teemo question before we move on. Now seeing it, how would you react to that Teemo? What would you guys have done to stop it if you had a second chance now?
We kind of let too many towers go. That didn't really have much to do with Teemo. That was more like Caitlyn. But at one point, I was a lot stronger than Teemo, because Teemo is not really good in like all-in fights. So if we had more confidence in ourselves, we could have forced more pushes, because he doesn't really have wave clear other than the shrooms.
Right.
And in all-in team fights, he's not as strong. So if we had more confidence in ourselves, we could have sieged and we could have forced team fights when we were stronger.
And that's an interesting thing, because obviously Reginald has been off of Team Solomate, and you're kind of taking his shoes. Was he the confidence builder for that team, and how do you actually get that confidence so the next time you get caught off guard, you don't fall behind and let them push you around?
I wouldn't say he was the confidence builder, but he was definitely the shot caller and calling when to fight and when to do some things. I think confidence just comes with playing in the LCS. It was our very first game. It was against Cloud9, so it was like all the pressure was on. Very first game against pretty much the best team in NA. So I feel like we already had more confidence in game 2. We did some really crazy stuff that maybe was a bit too crazy. I did a bit of crazy stuff, but it's better to do crazy stuff and then fail than play completely passive and just lose slowly like we did against Cloud9.
And with filling Reginald's shoes, as you come in, is there anything that you've specifically seen that TSM has changed accordingly since you've been on the team, things that have fixed up?
I never really watched too much of LCS. I watched their picks, but I never really had time to watch the games, because they were usually really late at night in Europe after we played. But I feel like having him as a coach now changed the team a lot, whereas before I didn't think they had a coach or didn't have a set coach. So that definitely helps a lot now. It's also nice to have someone looking over your back who's been playing mid lane, competitive scene for a long time, and can help me out. So I think our main difference going from Reggie to me is having him step down to a coach spot.
Right.
Interesting. And you guys definitely came back pretty strong against Evil Geniuses, except for this one fight that we're actually going to pull up a clip, because I want to see kind of what was going through your mind. If we can just get this clip up on the screen. You got caught out by a Threshook, and walk me through what was happening with you and the team here.
Yeah, I got caught by a Threshook because I was trying to see if I could land poke or all in on Caitlyn. Then when I got poked, we still went in because of some miscommunication. Xpecial just kind of died really fast, and at that point it was really hard for us to win the team fight because I was extremely chunked and I got hit by another Caitlyn ult. So we just had like a bad start. I got to half HP instantly, and then we went in too deep.
Yeah. But at least you're watching your screen for this juke.
Oh. I could have just ran away, but I thought it would look cooler that way.
Yeah, so that's interesting that it actually happened that way, because you guys, once you suffer a loss like that, what was your team mindset? Because it was a bit of a miscommunication, but then you guys recovered very well.
Yeah. Reggie said backstage, he said, I don't care if you go 0-28, as long as you just man up and you just go ham. So this game we manned up and went ham, and it kind of worked. So.
All right, coming in, last question for you, Bjergsen. Thanks for joining us for this bit of time. Knowing that there were so many fans, knowing it was kind of an uproar that you were brought over as kind of an import from EU, how have you handled the hype? Has it kind of gotten under your skin at first, or did you just embrace it right from the get-go?
I was really surprised how much hype I actually got. And of course, with hype comes hate, but I feel like it's pretty much like I enjoy it and I just embrace it and I try to not let it get to my head. And I enjoy playing on the stage a lot more than playing online, and I just love all the fans here.
All right, it definitely shows. Best of luck in the rest of the season. Congratulations on the win as well. Thanks for joining us. All right, everyone, we're going to throw it across the studio to Freak and Kobe at the caster's desk for our final match, and possibly